Dan Larson here at the photo booth with the first edition of the 10 best, what are we calling this? Top 10 of 2000, what year are we in? 2022. This is the, let's try that again. This is the top 10 of 2022. So far, part one, usually do this quarterly. So we get 3 of these in end of March, April, May, end of June, end of September, where I do the sort of in the photo booth breakdowns, throw everything in that I've bought that, you know, up to that point for the year. And then at the end of the year, I do my big final deliberate intentional choice list. This is where I just throw everything in the booth. I'm not coming to this premeditated. I didn't think about it already. And I'm just going to do a process of elimination. You will notice that there is not much in the booth right now. And that's how it always is at the beginning of the year. I just haven't bought that much. And hey, look, I've got a ton of stuff on pre-order right now. And if all that stuff had shipped at this point, even if everything had shipped that said it was supposed to be delivered either first quarter or March or whatever, there'd be probably twice as much stuff in this booth. So I am simultaneously frustrated by that, but also very, 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 very thankful that that is the case. Because I don't think I would have any money left if that had happened. So once again, just to go over the rules real quick, this is to qualify for this list, it has to be something that was released in this calendar year, 2022, not just something that I bought this year. I like to focus it on new figures that came out in the year of release. Now, that can cause some problems because sometimes figures, they're intended for release early, first quarter of a year, but some of them hits, the street in the late previous year. So for instance, the classified Alley Viper and Bats, I did technically have those in my hands before the calendar year 2021 ended, but I did not have the ones that I had actually ordered. The ones I had were samples from Hasbro, so I did not count them as 2021 releases. I'm counting them as 2022 releases. All that said, it sucks, and I hate that happens because I have had them longer than longer than the full 365 days of 2022. And so at the end of the year, when it comes time to put together my final 10, as much as I feel like I can guarantee they will be in that top 10, I don't feel like they would get the same ranking if they had been released in, say, April or June of this year. If that's when they were actually released, then they'd be able to power themselves all the way through. Because you can't help it. I can't help it. I love action figures, and the new thing is almost always going to be better than the thing that came out 6 months before. So, I mean, not always. But it feels that way. And it's really hard to put yourself into the mindset of just how much I was excited for the Alley Vipers and the Bats. And I just don't know that that's going to carry through till December of the end of this year. I still love them. I have 5 of each at this point. I drew the line and said, that's where I'm stopping. Full squad for me, 5 Bats, 5 Alley Vipers. I can't go any deeper into that. It's already irresponsible as it is, I just can't spend any more money like that. It's like I said, it's irresponsible. So all that to say, I love those 2 figures, and they should always be number ones, but I don't know that that's how it's necessarily gonna pan out at the end of the year. And I'm just buying myself a buffer so that people aren't surprised later when they're like, I thought you said you love those figures. I'm gonna be like, I did, but then, Warduke came out, so what am I supposed to do? Anyway, I almost shot this video a week ago. And if I had, it would have been an even shorter video, and it would have been even easier to pick everything out, because in just the last 4 or 5 days, I got more figures. I got Bronx, I got Roach the horse here, I got the Enforcer from Joy Toy, and I got my 2, I ended up with 2 Jet Troopers, Rocket Troopers, whatever they are, from Battlefront 2. I ordered 2 because I wanted to get the free shipping. It's like, you order 1 from GameStop and then they charge you like $8 in shipping. You're like, I might as well just get another one and trade it, sell it, or have 2 Troopers. So that just showed up. So take him out, and it's like, well, I'm almost done. So either way, this isn't going to take very long. And actually, I think I've talked longer than this elimination is actually going to take. So I'll try to name these as I go here. Most of them are pretty obvious. If there's any questions about what the figures are, if I don't mention it, or if you didn't hear me say it right or whatever, just ask in the comments below. I'll answer whatever questions you have. So right off the bat, and again, the elimination process has nothing to do with what's favorite, what's not favorite. It's just like, I'm taking these two out, bam, right off the top. These were disappointing figures. I was really looking forward to them. Spacesuits, Hex, helmets here. But the actual final construction on these left me really, really disappointed, especially in comparison to the previous Hasbro Fortnite figure releases. Those were just not good. Disappointing. And fortunately, I got them on super clearance, so it was like $12 for the pair. So that was real nice. Actually, what did I start off with here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I was counting those two as one. So I don't even have to eliminate half the stuff. And then we are good to go. Like I said, this is going to be real easy. You're out. Roach, really great looking horse. But I'm not really, it's not going to beat, one of these other figures. It's just, it's a horse, and I do have other horses. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that out. This is McFarlane. This is the Witcher horse. It's Roach from The Witcher. It is not the exact same mold as the Batman horse, the Build-A-Horse from the Batman wave. Some of the pieces are the same. The general engineering of it, the sort of build-a-figure structure is the same. In fact, you can see that on mine, this leg, it was like this in the box, like the leg wasn't fully plugged in. And I was like, oh no, it's broken. Oh no, it's just the build-a-figure construction. But the mane is different. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure the body here has some different sculpting to it, and other pieces are different. So you would definitely have two distinct horse looks if you grab both of those horses. I may grab a completed Bat horse at some point, but I'm not personally interested in any of the actual figures in that wave, so I'm not going to be buying it. Just like with the King Shark wave, like I wanted King Shark, but I didn't want any of the individual figures that were in there, and I just didn't bother to take the time or spend the money to buy a complete one. Who knows? Maybe at a show or a convention or something, I'll see the Build-A-Figure and splurge on something like that. But what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah, look at this. I only have to take one more figure out. And it's going to be this Jet Trooper. I absolutely love the design on this thing, and have since it popped up in Battlefront 2. Love jetpacks, love Boba Fett guys, love helmets. I'm not a huge fan of the Phase 2 clone armor. I don't like this T-shaped visor thing going on here. It feels like a forced design transition to me between the Mandalorian style helmet and the Stormtrooper helmet that I don't feel like would have been a natural progression of that armor, but they didn't ask me, so I didn't get any input on that. I love the design of this thing. I don't love the switched calves here. This is actually supposed to be over here. This is supposed to be over here. On the other one, I did try to swap them after watching Robo's video. In fact, I had texted him prior to him putting that video out, and I was like, hey, you mentioned that you had swapped the legs. What did you do? But then I ended up watching his video anyway, because he went into a little bit more detail. Absolute pain in the butt trying to get these pins out and then trying to get them back in. I do not recommend, do it if you want to, but I'm totally fine with this one having the swapped legs. It sucks, but I'm not going to notice it standing on my shelf. I'm not going to. In fact, if nobody had pointed it out, I never would have noticed it. I would have just said, "Oh, these are like misaligned, paint job or whatever." But it's fine. I dig this a lot. I love the design of this thing. I'm so glad they finally put it in action figure form. But it's not a top 10 piece, even right now with such a narrow field. It's not a top 10 for me. So surprise, surprise, we've got frequent list members, Boba Fett and G.I. Joe stuff and Spider-Man, and new to the list last year and this year is Joy Toy. And if you're not familiar with Joy Toy, they're a 1/18th scale and 1/25th for some of their stuff. 4-inch scale action figures, science fiction, military guys, some stuff that's based more in like actual, real life military figures, U.S. Army, Chinese Army, Russian Army, those kinds of things. And then like crazy sci-fi stuff that is just super crazy fun. This guy is Steiner, and of all the figures here, I've probably, messed with, posed, played with, put on my desk, looked at, more than any other thing here. I've handled this guy the most. I've just been enamored with this thing. There's some things I don't like about it. To me, it feels very Masked Rider, Kamen Rider meets Snake Eyes. I want to make a custom wired red scarf for him. I just think that would really complete the look for what the character is sort of exists as in my head. I don't love that this knife on the side here, it has this like tooth, part, and that makes it almost impossible to get out of the actual loop on his belt, because the tooth part gets hooked on the loop on the belt. So I don't really care about him holding it that much, so I did put it on his belt. I could probably nick that little tooth part off, or find a different other little knife. I've got bins full of 25th and 30th anniversary G.I. Joe figure knives that I could probably throw in there, but I just stuck it in there. You can get it out. You have to kind of like pivot it and catch it just right, but man, is it a pain in the butt. Yeah, there you go. So you can get it out without wrecking the loop, without wrecking the tooth on the knife, but questionable design for me. I don't know that I would have signed off on that design decision, but whatever. I dig this guy. Removable helmet, removable head that stays in the helmet. There's some issues with these, and that is one of those issues there, is that some of the joints do pop off a little easily. The whole line is customizable. All the limbs, torso can be removed, arms removed, hands removed, thighs, ankles, whatever. You can swap parts and stuff. I don't have any desire to do that, but you can. It's just a really cool figure and incredibly posable, and just an aesthetic that really, really just caught my attention. This one here, like I said, just got this in the other day. This is Enforcer. Non-removable helmet. This is basically just, they do it both ways. Some figures have removable helmets. Some have alternate heads that you snap on. I don't know about the design integrity of this weird shape of helmet, if this would have held up in trying to make it a removable helmet. But the armor on this is shiny. Like, when I took this out of the package, I was like, man, did they just paint this 2 days ago, throw it in the box, and then ship it to me? It looked wet, and it smelled great. And just all the detail on this, all the paint details, and the matte finish and the gloss finish, and just a fantastic. They are expensive, so if you're looking at the Big Bad Toy Store or Amazon, if you start here in Joy Toy, they have 1/18th and 1/25th scale mechs. Make sure you are clear about which one you're buying when you buy it, because they are expensive. These individual figures do run like $30 a piece. So if you're not 1/18th, if you'd rather get a 6-inch figure for that price, totally get it, totally understand. It is a steep, it's a steep ask, but I have not regretted it on any of these. And I've got a little bit of a Joy Toy army, squad building up here. I've probably got 10 or 12 figures at this point. Just keep an eye on my Instagram at Toy Galaxy to see pictures of those things. But I dig them a lot. So we're down to 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All we got to do is put these guys in order, and we're out. So number 10 is definitely going to be the Stormtrooper here. I've got tons of Stormtroopers. There's not really much going on there. And even this mold, I only picked up this mold. I've got 2 of these other Stormtroopers on this new Stormtrooper mold. It's just that. It's the backpack, It's the orange shoulder pauldron and the backpack. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for troops. And the shoulder pad and the backpack with the antenna absolutely sold me. So that was an easy purchase for me. So here we're going to go, number 10 is the Trooper. If I can get him to stand up. There we go. He's a little top heavy with that. He's a little back heavy with that backpack. Number 9, this is a tough call. Number 9 is probably gonna be Bronx. Now, Enforcer's my newest figure, so he's still got that new figure feel. Same with Bronx; those are the newest. Phantom is actually a pretty old figure, and actually, what am I even talking about? Phantom Ranger here is the first new figure. Not counting the Bats and the Alley Vipers, the first new figure I bought this year. It was like the first week or so of January, so he's definitely suffering from the oldest in the batch. But I'm still going to go... Oof, this is tough. You know, the other thing Phantom is going to suffer from is the idea that I already had the Defenders of the Earth Phantom, and this is basically the exact same figure. It's just that he's got the holsters, the different paint treatment, so he's got the stripe on his trunks there, and then he comes with the actual, you know, guns instead of the fantasy laser guns that the Defenders of the Earth version came with. But I'm already used to this figure, for having owned the other one for over a year. So we're going to go Stormtrooper, Phantom Ranger, who I wasn't going to buy until I watched a D Amazing review on it. And then I was like, damn it, D, you got me. He just made the figure look so cool. And, you know, D Amazing's got just as much of a, if not more, enthusiasm for, you know, tokusatsu stuff. So he, his passion, and I know I've done it to people too, his passion for it, what he was doing with the figure, making it pose. If you haven't checked out D Amazing's review, go subscribe to D Amazing. Just like it sounds, the letter D and Amazing on YouTube. And he's covers a lot of stuff, and he's an incredible poser, incredible photographer, and he's going to make you want to buy stuff that you didn't think you were going to buy. So I don't know, that's good or bad for you. So we got 10, 9, 8, 7. We're going to go Spidey. Great figure. So glad we got the symbiote Spider-Man suit there with the new eyes. The eyes on the last one were just too big for me, for my personal taste. I loved the McFarlane eyes when I was a kid. As I've gotten older, they've really started to bug me a lot. So I do prefer the smaller eyes here. The retro Spidey body, just a great figure. I love that he came with all 3 hand sets, open, web swinging, and fists. That's definitely one thing the actual retro Spider-Man figure was lacking, was that 3rd set of hands. But great figure. Mine had a huge dent in its forehead when I opened it up, and boy, was that a punch in the gut. But then, you know, all due respect to Russ, Shartimus Prime over there, he said, hit it with some heat for about 30 seconds and that'll pop right out. And I said to him, there's no way. It's a dent in his head. It's not coming out. And then I tried it, and he was absolutely right. You can't. It looks like there never was a dent there. And then I've used that method on a couple of things now. In fact, my Bronx, when I took it out of the package, middle rear claw here, front claw, they were both curved. They were both bent. And today, turned on the hairdryer, pointed it at it for about 30 seconds. You know, high temperature, kind of keep it moving. And both claws straightened right out. So I've used hot water to fix accessories and weird knees and stuff like that in the past, but I didn't think it would fix a dent in the head. So I was shocked to see that. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Probably going to throw, it's so hard because, like, I've got tons of Boba Fett's, and I like Boba Fett. This is not my favorite outfit. You know, this is the SH Figuarts Boba Fett, so it is a pricey figure. You know, it is certainly more than a Black Series or any other figure listed. This is absolutely the most expensive figure pictured here. But it's not my favorite suit. I got it because I wanted to have, you know, a really good representation of that suit. I love the SH Figuarts Jedi. Is it Jedi or Empire? Jedi Boba Fett figure. One of my top, you know, not counting the vintage figure, we'll say modern. One of my top, you know, top 4 modern figures of Boba Fett. Love that thing so much. And so, you know, I'm like, well, if I'm only going to have one version of this suit, I want the, you know, best version, which, you know, a lot of these import figures tend to be for me. And I dig it a lot, but I don't think right now that it's a top 5 figure. I think it's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. 5, I think we're going to go Enforcer. 3, we're going to go Bronx. Love this figure. So good. So absolutely good. Love the articulated jaw on this. It is just fun. Just a fun... I wasn't a huge Gargoyles fan when it was actually on the air. I watched it here and there, but I never really got into the story and followed the characters or anything. But the designs I absolutely loved. Absolutely loved the designs. I did have several of the figures, and Bronx was definitely my favorite. So to get this modern Bronx with this sort of squishy, real feel skin and, you know, all the articulation, the alternate heads, this neck joint is fantastic. Just a great fun figure. And hopefully everybody will be able to find one of those. The whole haul-a-thon fiasco was kind of a pain. like I said, hopefully everybody has an opportunity to get them after they start opening it up to other retailers. So we got 10987654, 3. We're going to go ahead and put Steiner here, Joy Toy Steiner at the number 3 spot. And so 2 and 1 are going to go to the Alley Viper and the Bat. And I got to put the Alley Viper is going to go 2. Bat's going to go 1. And that's really just... I loved both of these vintage figures so much. They were almost at the point where I was almost out of G.I. Joe. And I would just sort of dip back in for the really interesting characters. And Alley Viper, I just could not say no to. The shield, the visor, the colors. Oh, God, I loved it. And Bats were just like a dream come true. Interchangeable arms, robot design, you know, the lenticular chest panel. I just stared at that thing forever. It had depth to it. It was so interesting. If I could own the original sculpt of whatever was used, you know, as the image underneath that, you know, to make the lenticular chest panel on the original figure, that would be a neat piece to have. And so this isn't the actual panel that comes with the figure, if you're not familiar with it. It comes with just an opaque, a flat black, non-translucent, you can't see through it, just a black plastic panel. And I think, you know, during the Hasbro reveal, you know, the Fan Friday or whatever it was, Joe Tuesday, I don't remember what day it is, they explained that, you know, they wanted to update it and, you know, make it armor, you know, on the original figures, that's like a target. You just shoot right at it and blow it. And I was like, no. I don't care about the practicality. I don't care about the real world functionality of this thing. Let's go back to rule of cool. It looked awesome. Put that translucent panel on there. So there's a couple places, couple of independent designers, creators, people who are making stuff that make these 3D printed panels. This one is, this style is my favorite. It is 3D printed and it has a little bit of that sort of, you know, texture to it that I think is just inherent to the nature of the 3D printing, but it ends up very accurately reproducing that sort of lenticular feel. And it gives that sculpted piece underneath, you know, it tends to have that sort of same feel to it. And I'll if you check out my Instagram, I've posted the name. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I should have looked it up before I hopped on here. But I've got to post it on Instagram. There's and then I'll post it in the description to the video. There's all different colors. This has this sort of techno, you know, Cyber Cobra logo on it. I've got panels that are just clear, no logo, panels with, you know, Decepticon logo, pink, blue, green, red, yellow. It's just, it's really completes the look of that figure for me. You know, the black panel's fine. And before I got these third-party panels, I was just displaying it without a panel at all. Because to me, that's part of the look of the Bat, is being able to see, you know, the guts inside. And just the way it looks in terms of the color and the contrast and all that stuff. So, but the panels really take it to the next level for me. So, all right, so that's it. That's the 10 best, top 10 best of 2022 so far. 1, 2, 3, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep, that's it. So, all right, thank you very much for watching this. Check out, make sure you go, if you're not already, follow me on Instagram at toygalaxy. And I'll definitely be posting some more pictures of these as the year goes by, and just keep up to date on whatever else I'm acquiring, because I got a lot of stuff sitting in that pre-order queue, as we all do now, finding very little of this stuff in person. And we'll check back here on this list in 3 months. Thanks for watching. Later.